Welcome to April's Energy Oracle. I am recording on the tiniest microphone ever, and it makes me really happy. Hoping the sound is okay. The energy of this month, I think the perfect way to connect it is I watched a movie last night called The Sound of Metal, and it was a story of a man losing his hearing, and it was beautiful. It's nominated for a lot of awards. And even if it wasn't, it would be worth it. It's just a story of redemption, plain and simple, and that's what this month's energy really, really feels like. Before we get into sort of the earthly grounded energy of the month, like I said, this is a story of redemption, but I want to start sort of with the celestial and or animal influences, animal energy of the month of April. So I've deemed April try something new, and we'll talk more about that throughout the spread. But I want to start with number 10, manifestation. And the qualities are intention, motivation, true identity, which I think is huge right now. Foundation of essence, self, aligned manifestation. I'm just going to read you a little bit out of this. This comes from a deck called, where are you? It's called, let me just open the front of my book. The Mayan Oracle, a galactic language of light. So this is, sort of expanded Aquarian view of what's happening right now. 10 is the ray of manifestation, the foundation of individual self-manifestation. Its true identity, the foundation of essence self. A potent manifestation awaits you. Two worlds combine. I just want to stop there. When I think of this, I think of like the yin and the yang and the intermarriage, and beyond that, I'm in a group where we're focusing on removing the barriers to love, so that might be in the air for some of you as well. The key to manifestation in all realms is through clear intention and the embodiment of your divine essence. What does your heart desire to manifest? Begin by aligning with your essence. Essence aligned with intention creates an etheric thought form, an energy matrix image. As long as it is unrestricted by limiting beliefs, the energy pattern emerges and evolves. As it evolves, it aligns with the larger pattern until finally it is released into manifestation. In receiving 10, you are being asked to look carefully at your own foundations. What structures and belief systems is your reality built on? Ooh, so important right now. What foundations motivate your choices? You are now creating a new foundation, walking into all that you are, your essence self. So it goes on to say something about unrestricting your vision, which I think is so important. I'm actually doing a workshop that, I wish I would have named it that, because it is all about getting into the expanded self and creating a magnetism around you that carries you into such experiences. And the Majestic Whale card is one where, to me, it's sort of like the galactic energy grounded. So the mythos or the ethos with the whale is that they are our ancient record keepers. They are wise beings who basically are the Akashic records just floating beneath us, keeping that memory in orbit and releasing such a sacred energy. Maybe I'll attach a link to some whale sounds that I listen to on the regular. It's hard for me to hear a whale sound without wanting to burst into tears or really taking a moment to meditate. So they have a really powerful energy. And beyond that, we've got the candle and the inferno. And I feel like these are sort of like, pick your adventure with how you read them. But because of this story of redemption, I want to look at it a few different ways. And one is that you can have the dimmest candle light and you can still give another person light, and then the light increases. So, I think that's happening on a global scale. We're finding the people and places who are right for us, and we're lighting each other's candles. And the second one is looking at Inferno as a way to abolish and demolish and burn down the old. Like whatever needs to go, put it in a giant heap. Like if it's energetically in your mind, if you start thinking things that you don't want to, picture a giant flame and give that thought over, alchemize it, create a new neural pathway inside the mind. Okay, so continuing with this story of redemption, we're going to get into some of our tarot cards. And I picked cards from a crow deck and also the wild unknown. And it's interesting that between those two, let's see, we've got five tarot cards, and out of those there are 3 from the major arcana. So, you know, we've all been feeling this major energy of change. It's not like change is passively sort of coming to us and for us. It's these big, huge events. And so we've got Judgment. This Judgment card shows a bird. I'm not sure what bird it is, but this card's all about forgiveness, new beginnings, and resurrection. So it's funny that it's April Fool's Day. I'm actually about to do a live where we talk about the beautiful energy of the Fool, and this kind of goes in perfectly with what I said earlier about try something new. And so the Fool is great at this, and whatever it takes to become the Fool in April, I suggest that you do it, because what the Fool has that the rest of the tarot deck doesn't is that innocence, that new beginning, that feeling of no matter what happens, when I walk out this door into the unknown, I can handle it with nothing more than the shirt on my back. So just knowing that we're all tapped into a huge well of abundance and grace and protection. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune again is about sort of like destiny and fate. Like when I don't know, I just love all those words, and I love that the Wheel of Fortune knows a thing or two about divine timing, and it knows when to and when we're ready to sort of have certain things materialize. And the Ace of Cups, I want to read the Ace of Cups from this book. It's a Crow tarot, so it has sort of a special flavor, if you will. The crow lands atop a large pentacle once concealed by clouds. This spot provides a clear view of all the riches available to her. Because her desires are no longer blocked, the bounty this world has to offer, from material wealth to spiritual knowledge, is all within her grasp. The Ace of Pentacles represents a time of clarity and the ability to manifest your dreams. Ooh, manifest again. Stay focused. The law of attraction is working. Keep a fixed sight on what it is you want to achieve. Although the Ace of Pentacles represents security and... Okay, no. That's just if it's reversed, and it was not. Should I continue with the Crow Tarot? Yeah. So the other card from the Crow Tarot is the Five of Wands, and on the card it shows 5 crows sort of sparring in the air. And you know, I feel like sometimes we see animals sort of going at it, and we have a very human version of what's going on, but I love the way that this card describes what's happening. And each crow brings with it a different colored wand, symbolizing diverse histories, philosophies, and backgrounds. Although on the surface this conflict may look violent, the crows are competing in a cordial manner and not battling to the death. This card suggests that out of a friendly debate, a good amount of progress moves a project forward. The Five of Wands may denote a meeting that brings various groups together to solve a single problem. I feel like that's so powerful because, you know, I'm talking to my community. We're a limited amount of people, but we all are, although there may be a common thread, we all come from different backgrounds. And I think right now, the most important thing that we need is compassion and the ability to hold many diverse opinions. They don't even have to be our own. But in order to move forward, we have to find humanity in each one of us. And we can't just use all the labels that have been created to divide us. So I love that card. Okay, have we talked about it all? No, we have not. So what did we get? We got the Seven of Wands in the Wild Unknown Tarot. And it's all about courage and inner strength. And it shows... a single wand, this tiny little candle. Again, there's this theme about letting our light shine, no matter how small, no matter how big. Yeah, it's time to stand up and be courageous. Stand up for what you believe. You may feel overwhelmed with caution and fear, but your internal fire will guide you. And I think that's something that is so needed right now, because we're all so afraid of being canceled, saying something that's not really a part of the status quo. We won't have the protection we think if we step out. But this is clearly saying that we do and that we will. And I feel like the more that we do, the more that we're going to spread a really authentic light on the planet. Okay, I'm kind of skipping around. I hope this goes with how I took the video. With all my heart, this diamond. A quick story before I go any further is that I was out in the woods with a friend, and she kept thinking that she was seeing like little diamonds, and so it just became this thing that we were like, okay, we're going to find a diamond. We're looking for diamonds, and we found all sorts of metaphorical diamonds on the trailheads were diamonds where we were, and so we were really feeling and sensing into and or talk to them to this diamond energy. Hold on one second. Especially with the right use of power, that's a thing that has really washed over me in a new way, you know. And just because humanity can doesn't mean that we should, and that therein lies the misuse of power, is that money, greed, oh God, I could say so many things, have really turned ourselves on ourselves. We're like the snake eating its own tail, and we have to come back to a right sense of power before we can really move into the next echelon of spiritual awareness. Okay, so work with that energy this month. The last two cards are really special to me because I've been really incubating this next move, and it's really so much about creativity. And so I love it that this card, as you become less restricted, your exceptional talents and ideas will be received, and the creative dreams will become a reality. Divine order. Again, that Wheel of Fortune card. Take a self-mastery card. So this month is all about authenticity. That's the self-mastery. To be real, genuine, in a state of purity. The diamond. Yes. It's like if someone looked through you, no matter, even if you had a dark spot here or there, you're willing to just shine in your fullness, right? Authenticity is acting in a state of total honesty with yourself, and in doing so, no one will dispute your truth. I don't think people get that. Like, all y'all who getting some kickback big time, I don't know, there's an opening. I've really decided to be fortified, and that has been my reality around that. Authenticity is showing your real colors and being true to yourself, coming from your internal integrity. Self-mastery is making a promise that you will fulfill without procrastination or excuses, having the courage to voice the exact truth without embellishment or lies, to match what you say by living your life on the same advice you give others. Action. Speak the truth. Develop an original idea. Remove the veil. Own up. Challenge. A copy. Acting out. Falsity. A lie. Behind one's back. So, my loves, this is the energy of April. I hope that this has been a blessing for you. If your ears have heard this, if your heart has been softened or awakened, this message was for you. It's timeless. Much love.
But there's nothing to be scared of. All it takes is a little self-confidence. You know, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.